Self-awareness is one of the areas that we work with in Deep Transformational Coaching. In all forms of coaching, really, at different levels, but particularly with Deep Transformational Coaching. Everything is about self-awareness. And self-awareness on its own is a game changer. So awareness, noticing, understanding, knowing, acknowledging what's happening inside on all levels, having an awareness of what's happening physically, how you're feeling physically, emotionally, in your mind, what's the state of your thinking, how is your energy, how do you relate to yourself, what's the dialogue with yourself like, and by extension, awareness of your relating to others. But everything begins with the self. Everything begins with the self, in coaching in particular. And one key practice that I encourage all my clients to experiment with and to explore is some form of meditation that works for them. There are many different types, but fundamentally, at its core, meditation is simply a noticing. So a noticing of what your inner experience is. Noticing your thoughts, noticing your feelings, noticing your physical sensations, with some level of recognizing that you are noticing your own experience and what that implies. A deep teaching in mindfulness is that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, and deeper again, you are not your body. You are far more expansive and multidimensional than how you experience yourself in these ways in which we typically experience ourselves, experience the world. And so in this noticing, in this deepening of self-awareness, it's extremely empowering to know that through this self-awareness and impacting your inner experience, it completely transforms your outer experience. So things that are going on out there in your work, at home, in relationships, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything out there has to change or something has to happen. There needs to be an intervention. So much change, transformation can come from the inner work to notice what's happening inside. Because all of those things that are happening out there, it is in here where we are experiencing them. So this is how deepening self-awareness can utterly transform your external experience. And to get more specific again, with the deepening self-awareness, further clarity on what is important to you, your values. What are those things that you most value in life? Those intangible aspects of everything that we experience. What are those things that we place most value on? And we hear about this all the time, about values, particularly in organizations and in leadership. What are your leadership values? What are the values of the organization? We all have values. And there are no right or wrong values for each of us, except for what's true for you. So there's no right or wrong, there's no judgment, but giving space with self-awareness to the exploration of what your values are is incredibly valuable. And again, another level of completely transforming your life. And what does this really mean practically, to have clarity around your values? This level of clarity can be a fantastic framework or guide. These values can be guideposts for decision making, particularly big decisions in your life. In reflecting or considering something that's going on for you, or the potential of a direction that you might go in. Having clarity in your values and being able to see where your values are being honored, where they are being met with this direction or in this situation, can give you an idea of what level of alignment there is with this choice. And ultimately, what alignment means is where your values are being honored. And what that means for you is that it feels good and it feels true and right. And motivation and energy towards working to satisfy goals or achievements down a particular path can be easily accessed. Whereas if you're in a situation where your values are not so aligned with the situation, then that can often feel challenging. Even if you think something should be fluid, should feel right, make sense, but where there is not alignment with how it feels for you, maybe what your heart's desire is, maybe there's an element of sacrifice, that can feel like it takes more energy to work through a situation like that, be involved in that sort of scenario. And this might, as I'm speaking, this might highlight for you situations or circumstances that already don't quite feel right, but you couldn't put your finger on it. It's always good to ask yourself in a situation, a relationship, a group of people, a decision, where are my values being honored here? To what extent are my values in alignment with what's happening here? And so when we have this level of clarity in our values, those things that are really important to us, how we feel in a situation, how we turn up, how energetic, resilient, confident we can be in a situation is completely different. From my own experience, when I was younger, starting off in work life and early in my career, I had a focus on income and earning money. And I had the experience over and over again of when I placed more importance on money, generating more or as much as I possibly could, a lot of difficulty emerged. Lots of challenge, lots of stress, lots of just an experience of it not feeling good, and me not feeling good in myself, and being drained and frustrated. And later in life, when I was a good bit down the personal development and healing path, I got the clarity when I started to explore my values that there are far more things that I value far higher than money. Money is important, absolutely. It's practical, we need it, particularly in the world as it is today. It's far more than about survival. It's about living comfortably, living with a future, living with security, particularly when you have children. But once I recognized that I was placing far more focus on money than how much it's actually important to me, and the cost of that being other values, other things that are far more important to me, like love, peace, freedom, curiosity, growth, courage. Money is way down the line. And so when I remove the emphasis of income, not completely because it's relevant, but when I honor my values and place them in order in terms of everything that I'm doing, everything I'm involved in, then things flow. And yes, there can be challenge, yes, there can be difficulty, but there is the energy to face that and the resilience to go through it. Because I am honoring myself, I'm honoring my values. I know I'm turning up for the right reasons. And I have the awareness and the knowing that this is what's right for me. So if you're wondering how your values are impacting how you're feeling right now in a particular situation, or even if you're curious about what your values are at all, let me know in the comments. Share a comment or DM me. I'll send you a free worksheet to work out your values. If you'd like to explore it further with me, you can make a connection call so we can have a chat. And it's work that I refer back to in coaching sessions all the time. I will work with values with all my clients. It's a fundamental and foundational piece of coaching work, and vitally important in your personal development, your leadership development, and your healing, whatever way you're coming at this work from. I hope you've found value in this video. Please share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, or even just let me know your thoughts on this video and what I'm sharing. Thank you for watching.